Hi guys. So this morning was it's quite a surreal morning really. Woke up on the floor of a cafe in a sleeping bag and a tent. Yeah, it was as strange as it sounded. Um, and the owner of the cafe is a Korean lady called Tanya, very nice, friendly lady, and her daughter. And they were both very kind of motherly, if you like, fussing around me. Obviously they'd heard what had happened to my tent and I think it's the talk of the town actually. I'm a bit of a infamous now. The poor English guy who got his tent burnt. Basically, without trying to sound too melodramatic, the first 3 or 4 nights I just spent completely in isolation. I said Grizzly Adams style. And then the previous 2 nights I've made some acquaintances. The first acquaintance pulled a gun on me. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit. Well, he did pull a gun on me, that's fact. But whether he was intending to shoot me with it is another story. But even still, it's not very nice to have a gun pulled on you with somebody who's drank a lot of vodka and you don't really know. It's just not really the done thing. I'm sure you can all appreciate that. And the next day, I'm speaking to someone who later burns my tent down to the ground for no other reason other than I refused to carry on speaking to her because she was wasted and she took anyway, I'm rambling. So I think basically if somebody comes to speak, if I stay here and somebody decides to come and strike up a conversation, I'm just going to say to them, listen mate or lady, I'm really sorry but I'm not going to speak to you. I'm just going to sit here and be really rude and eat my tea and you know, if you want to know the reasons why, there's a charred tent on the floor over there and some discarded ammunition on the floor. So they're the reasons. It's a shame, but I don't know. There's a lot to be said for being on your own. That said, what I wanted to talk about was something a bit more personal, really. I came over to I came from Novosibirsk to Altay because I wanted to spend a few weeks to think, to clear my head, and this place is amazing for doing that. It's a really good place to reflect and to think about things, and it's certainly made my mind a lot clearer in certain respects. Certain situation that I've been procrastinating about for a long time back in Novosibirsk. Positive situation, not a negative one, but one that I need to act upon. And I'm definitely going to do that when I return home. I'm glad that this experience has been the catalyst for me to become clear in my mind, because personally when I'm in the city I get really kind of bogged down sometimes with just work a day, humdrum mundane problems, and it kind of pushes what's really important out of my mind. So that's good, and I hope, basically watch this space. So that's that. Secondly, it's nice to be alone here, but you see such beautiful things. I'm just going to pan around the lake without trying to sound like Partridge-esque or a bit tragic. It'd be really nice to share it with somebody else. It's nice to be on your own, but it would be really nice sometimes just to share. So you see such nice things, you want to share it with someone, you don't just want to appreciate it on your own. I'd really like to come here with a special someone one day, somebody that you really care about. I think it would be a really memorable place to visit with somebody who you're close to. You see quite a few couples here actually, so there we go guys, I guess you can work out how I'm feeling there. But today it's about 8:30 in the morning now, and 8:30 in the morning, it's beautiful. It's about 27 degrees already. Now unfortunately my sandals got stolen, so I'm dressed as some kind of soldier wannabe in really heavy boots. I'm going to go into town later, buy a new tent, and hopefully all will be well. And tonight, if I do get a new tent, I'll be parking it nowhere near that woman, I'll tell you that for nothing. Okay, I'll pan round back to the mountains. You see the Twin Peaks over there. That's a good name for this town actually, Twin Peaks. If anyone's familiar with David Lynch, it is like that. hopefully I won't end up being the dead cheerleader at the end of the 3 weeks. Okay, das vidania, poka, speak to you soon.